Some games don't just fill your time. They stay with you long after the credits roll. Right now, there are titles that still feel fresh, fun, and completely worth jumping into, whether you missed them before or just want something great to play next. The Quarry feels like the kind of teen slasher legend you usually watch in movies, but this time, you're the one deciding how the night ends. A group of summer camp counselors choose to stay one last evening at Hackett's Quarry, and what starts as a simple decision slowly turns into a dangerous situation where every choice matters. Gameplay uses a third-person perspective. It focuses on exploration, dialogue choices, and quick reactions during intense scenes. You switch between characters, investigate clues, and react to sudden moments that can completely change the outcome, which makes the game engaging from beginning to end, keeping the tension consistent without feeling overwhelming. Every decision quietly builds toward different consequences. Relationships shift, situations change, and the story adapts to how you play, making each playthrough feel personal without needing constant chaos to stay engaging.
Maybe it was the bears.
And why does everyone blame everything on bears?
Do you got anything better? I mean, like zombies, aliens, time-hopping Draculas.
Ryan?
Hey!
Run! Anything needs to happen, please!
We ain't playing games no more, little girl.
There's something coming!
1,
Ah!
2, lost, Max, we're lost. 3!
Terrified kids are bad for business.
You have to cut it off! Cut it off! Cut it off!
This may be a one-way ride, so be prepared, Leon.
Sherry, don't worry. I will get you whatever you need, okay?
And tell me everything. Right from the start.
It's Umbrella's fault, this whole mess. But we never meant for this to happen.
Dr. Birkin, you'll come along with us quietly.
I'm not handing over anything!
Resident Evil 2 Remake brings back one of the most iconic survival horror stories through Leon S. Kennedy and Claire Redfield, both trying to escape a collapsing Raccoon City. Exploration is one of the strongest parts of the game. The RPD works like a connected puzzle box filled with shortcuts, locked doors, and hidden clues that slowly reveal the bigger picture. Gameplay focuses on careful survival rather than non-stop shooting. Weapons feel heavy, zombies don't drop easily, and every bullet matters, forcing you to decide when to fight or when to avoid danger completely. Enemy reactions, tight spaces, and the constant presence of Mr. X change how you move through each area, turning simple backtracking into tense moments. It rewards patience and smart planning, giving every encounter a sense of weight instead of turning the experience into pure action.
Took a long time for him to get out of this game.
He's meant for this life.
Oh, crap!
Last I checked, we're all a bunch of thieves, digging around where we shouldn't.
Shame we're not on the same side.
I am a man of fortune, and I must seek my fortune.
So, are you ready to seek your fortune?
Hang on, Nathan!
Where is the artifact?
Heads up!
I made a promise that I was done with this life.
How long have we been chasing this thing?
Uncharted 4, A Thief's End. A legendary treasure hunter we usually see in adventure movies finally gets a more personal and grounded story. Nathan Drake comes back for one last job, pulled into a dangerous treasure hunt by his brother Sam. Gameplay mixes a third-person shooter style with climbing, stealth, and smooth cinematic movement. The grappling hook adds new ways to move during fights, letting you swing into cover or reach higher spots quickly. Enemies move smarter too, so you're always adjusting your position instead of just standing still and shooting. Exploration feels wider and more relaxed compared to earlier games. Large areas, hidden paths, and small character conversations make each location feel alive. Puzzle sections and climbing moments give you time to breathe between action scenes without slowing the adventure down. Silent Hill F shifts the series into something that feels fresh but still deeply psychological. Set in 1960s Japan, the story follows Hinako Shimizu, a high school girl trapped in the rural town of Ebisugaoka after a strange fog turns everything into a nightmare. The game mixes Japanese folklore, social pressure, and personal trauma, giving the horror a more emotional and cultural weight. Gameplay leans into survival horror with exploration, puzzles, and close encounters with grotesque creatures. Combat feels deliberate rather than fast, pushing you to think about positioning and timing while moving through narrow streets and shrine-like locations. What really makes it different is how it blends beauty with discomfort. The horror doesn't rely on chaos. It grows quietly through atmosphere and personal themes, giving the journey a unique identity that stands apart from earlier Silent Hill entries.
自分で自分がわからない感じ。自分の気持ちが自分で理解できない。私かお前の夢の中ってことはないよな。
ひなこ、もう時間がないのよ。あなたが生かされたということは、ここに至ってもまだ迷いがあるということなのね。あなたがそれに悩める時間はもう。
The Last of Us Part 2 tells a darker and more emotional continuation of Ellie's journey, set in a world that feels grounded and raw. The story focuses on revenge, consequences, and how violence affects people differently, showing multiple perspectives instead of just one clear hero. Gameplay blends a third-person shooter style with stealth and survival mechanics. You move through detailed environments, craft items on the go, and choose between avoiding enemies or fighting in close combat. Enemy reacts dynamically, communicating with each other and adapting to how you play, which makes every encounter feel intense without needing constant chaos. The story and gameplay stay connected the whole time, creating a journey that feels heavy, emotional, and memorable long after the final scene.
I really hope you make it.
I have to finish it.
There's a cost.
We could have killed you.
Ghost of Tsushima feels like a samurai legend you've seen in classic films, but now you're living it through Jin Sakai, a warrior trying to defend his homeland during the Mongol invasion. The story blends honor, sacrifice, and personal change, showing how Jin slowly shifts from a traditional samurai into something more unpredictable. Exploration feels calm but meaningful. Golden forests, quiet shrines, and wide fields create a world that feels alive without forcing you to rush. Gameplay focuses on precise sword combat mixed with stealth and open-world freedom. You can challenge enemies head-on with clean duel, or move quietly through tall grass and rooftops to take control of situations without being seen. Combat, exploration, and storytelling blend together naturally, creating an experience that feels like a playable samurai film rather than just another open-world action game.
No, he is coming.
House of Ashes tells a darker story compared to other entries in the series, following soldiers who fall into a buried temple during a mission in Iraq. The focus isn't just on monsters, but also on the tension between characters from different sides, forcing them to work together while dealing with something ancient hiding beneath the desert. Gameplay centers on cinematic choices, exploration, and quick reactions during intense scenes. You guide multiple characters through narrow tunnels and collapsing ruins, making dialogue decisions that shape trust and survival. The pacing moves between quiet conversations and sudden danger, keeping the experience unpredictable. What makes it stand out is the mix of military realism and supernatural horror. The story builds tension through character dynamics as much as the threat itself, giving the experience a different kind of intensity compared to typical horror games.
Shadow.
Satellite sweeps of the war zone have uncovered what appears to be an underground storage facility. But I strongly suspect it's where chemical weapons are hidden, so we need to move fast.
Ready to go dark. To descend into the unknown alone is extremely brave.
Man out, hold fire.
Or extremely foolish.
We're gonna psyop this shit.
Brothers in arms, or will it be a case of each man for himself?
Down, get down! They're up on the ridge! Return fire!
Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice, tells a very personal journey inspired by Norse mythology, following Senua, a Celtic warrior traveling toward Helheim to save the soul of someone she lost. The story stands out because it was built with real research into psychosis, shaping how Senua hears voices and sees the world around her. Gameplay blends close-range sword combat with perception-based puzzles. You look for hidden symbols in the environment, align visual patterns, and use a special focus ability that changes how spaces behave or reveals new paths. Combat feels heavy and deliberate, relying more on timing, dodging, and reading enemies, rather than fast combos or flashy moves. The visuals, sound, and pacing all reflect her inner struggle, creating an experience that feels more reflective and emotional than a standard action game, while still keeping its mythological identity strong.
You searched for control, a way to pull through. When you were in love, you left him in tears, to smother your furies and banish your fears. But in darkness they came, through stormy black seas they raided these shores. Do you still hear his screams? And now that you're home, he's so far away. They've taken his soul. To these gods you cannot pray.
Gift. Christ! Like she did.
Temperance, child.
I've taken the liberty of preparing some entertainment for you.
The entertainment.
Without further ado, the gallant knight protects the princess fair.
I'm making shit for you.
Move!
She's always like this with you. How about you open fire instead of your mouth?
Long time no see.
Major Krauser? Why?
You can't save her. You can't save anyone.
Resident Evil 4 Remake follows Leon S. Kennedy on a mission to rescue the president's daughter in a remote village in Spain. But this version feels more grounded and intense compared to the original. The remake keeps the iconic location, making every encounter feel heavier without losing the classic identity of the game. Gameplay focuses on flexible combat and smart survival choices. Leon can sneak through areas, crouch to avoid detection, and use his knife to parry enemy attacks, even dangerous ones like chainsaw swings. But the knife has durability, so timing matters. Stealth takedowns, crafting ammo, and dynamic enemy behavior push you to adapt instead of relying on one playstyle. Combat feels more physical, enemies react more aggressively, and the pacing shifts between pressure and quiet moments, giving the experience its own identity instead of just copying the original game. A Plague Tale: Requiem continues the story of Amicia and Hugo de Rune, moving away from pure survival and leaning more into emotional storytelling. Their journey across a collapsing medieval world feels heavier this time, showing how the bond between the siblings changes as the situation becomes harder to control. Gameplay evolves by giving Amicia more aggressive tools, while still keeping stealth important. The sling returns with stronger alchemical combinations, and a crossbow adds new combat options. But direct fights can still go wrong quickly if you're careless. What makes this sequel special is how the scale of the story grows without losing intimacy. The world feels bigger, but the focus stays on the relationship between Amicia and Hugo, making every step forward feel personal, rather than just another survival. Alan Wake 2 follows two connected stories between writer Alan Wake and FBI agent Saga Anderson, mixing psychological mystery with survival horror. Saga investigates ritual murders around Bright Falls, while Alan moves through the shifting, dark place, a warped version of reality shaped by his own writing. Gameplay blends survival mechanics with investigation systems that feel unique to each character. Saga uses her Mind Place, a mental investigation room where clues connect on a caseboard to move the story forward, while Alan rewrites scenes inside the writer's room to change environments and open new paths. The combination of two main characters with different backgrounds makes the game feel more engaging. Shifting perspectives, changing scenes, and connecting clues slowly reshape the world around you, turning the experience into a psychological thriller that feels experimental while still keeping a strong and clear narrative identity.
Why are we written into the story? I brought you the Heart Witch. Show me the terror.
Show me the terror!
Assassin's Creed Odyssey follows Cassandra, or Alexios, a Spartan mercenary living during the Peloponnesian War in ancient Greece. Instead of focusing only on stealth like older entries, the story leans into personal choices, family conflict, and the freedom to shape your own journey across a massive historical world. Exploration feels wide and vibrant, moving between busy cities, ancient ruins, and quiet coastal landscapes. Gameplay mixes action combat with RPG progression. You build your character through abilities, gear upgrades, and different playstyles. whether that's direct combat, stealth approaches, or ranged attacks with bows. The game doesn't push you into one role. It lets you decide how to fight, who to trust, and what kind of legend your character becomes in a world filled with history and myth. Days Gone follows Deacon St. John, a former biker trying to survive in a harsh world years after a deadly outbreak. Rumors about his missing wife keep pushing him forward while he moves between survivor camps and dangerous open roads filled with freakers and hostile groups. Gameplay mixes shooting, crafting, and smart preparation. Large freaker hordes are one of the most unique parts of the game, forcing you to plan ahead with traps, explosives, and the environment instead of rushing into fights. Deacon's motorcycle also plays a big role. It needs fuel, repairs, and upgrades, turning travel into part of the experience rather than just fast movement. The mix of open roads, quiet moments, and sudden danger creates a survival journey that feels grounded and natural without relying on the same old zombie formula.
You find his stash. You bring it to me. To me, Deke. You do that, let's see what we can do for you.
Deke, bro.
And I know what kind of man he is. What he's done. He done any worse than you? Ricky? How about me?
You're afraid to be here. You're afraid to be a part of something. We need you here, and that scares the hell out of you.
Black myth Wukong reimagines the classic Journey to the West through a darker, more grounded interpretation of Sun Wukong's world. The game follows a mysterious monkey warrior known as the Destined One, traveling across landscapes inspired by Chinese mythology while facing creatures drawn from ancient myths and spiritual tales. Gameplay focuses on fluid staff combat, combined with abilities that change how fight unfold. You can shift between fast strikes and heavy attacks, cast spells that slow enemies, and transform into different creatures to adapt to certain situations. Boss encounters feel like the core of the experience and pushing you to read patterns. Movement looks graceful, but every encounter carries weight, creating a style that feels closer to a martial arts legend than a typical action game.
I'm not turning back. After all I've sacrificed, I have to wonder.
Shadow of the Tomb Raider follows Lara Croft during a darker chapter of her journey as she tries to stop a Mayan apocalypse connected to the Trinity organization. The story feels more serious and personal, showing Lara dealing with the results of her own choices while searching for the hidden city of Paititi. Exploration feels like the main focus of the game. Bigger tombs, hidden puzzles, and more vertical level design make every area feel like a real challenge instead of just a simple path. The gameplay centers on exploration, stealth, and moving through the environment, with Lara crossing underwater caves and ancient ruins while using mud camouflage to blend into her surroundings. As you follow Lara's journey, the dense jungle and darker tone make the adventure feel more personal, and each discovery shows how she keeps growing along the way. Little Nightmares 2 tells the story of Mono, a quiet boy wearing a paper bag who travels through the Pale City alongside Six while trying to understand the strange signal coming from a distant tower. The narrative relies on visual storytelling and atmosphere instead of dialogue. Gameplay blends puzzle platforming, stealth movement, and simple tool-based combat. Mono can use objects like hammers or pipes to defend himself when needed, but most encounters focus on timing, hiding, and working together with Six to overcome obstacles. A flashlight becomes important in darker sections, adding small gameplay changes without turning the experience into a full action game. The bond between Mono and Six slowly changes as the journey continues, turning a simple escape into something more emotional and unexpected without needing long explanations. Detroit Become Human follows 3 connected stories through Connor, Kara, and Marcus, androids in a near-future Detroit where machines begin to question who they are. Connor investigates deviant android cases with the police, Kara searches for safety while protecting a child, and Marcus slowly grows into a voice for android freedom. Gameplay focuses more on decisions and observation than action. You explore environments, study clues, and choose dialogue options that can change relationships or decide who survives. Connor can reconstruct crime scenes by scanning the area, while quick choices during tense moments keep the pacing engaging without turning it into a shooter. What makes it stand out is how failure doesn't always mean restarting. Characters can disappear or survive based on your choices, creating a story that feels personal and flexible instead of following one fixed storyline.
More.
Get away!
Fight Jericho!
I know someone who can help you.
Pull the trigger. How do I know you are not a deviant?
They are not machines!
I could take you there.
Go! See that!
My name is Kara.
My name is Connor. My name is Marcus.
Cronos The New Dawn centers on a mysterious character known as the Traveler, an agent sent across a ruined future and back into 1980s Poland to rescue key people before a catastrophic event changes humanity forever. Gameplay focuses more on shooting, mixing fast gunfights with tense moments. The Traveler uses firearms and melee attacks, but every fight asks you to think ahead, because enemies can merge with fallen bodies if you don't burn them, evolving into stronger versions during battle. This system changes how you approach encounters, turning even small fights into strategic moments where timing and resources matter. What gives the game its own identity is the constant pressure created by the merge system and the time travel narrative. Instead of relying on loud moments, atmosphere, and the feeling that every decision can make the next encounter harder.
Are you glad to see me, friend?
Marvel's Spider-Man 2 focuses on Peter Parker and Miles Morales dealing with new threats like Venom and Kraven the Hunter while trying to balance hero life with personal struggles. The story explores how the symbiote changes Peter's behavior and how Miles grows into his own role. Gameplay expands the series with faster movement and more flexible combat. Both Spider-Men have different abilities. Miles uses bioelectric venom powers, while Peter gains aggressive symbiote skills, creating two distinct combat styles. Web wings and wind tunnels make traversal smoother, letting you glide across New York instead of only swinging. What makes this sequel stand out is the contrast between speed and pressure. Movement feels fluid and stylish, but the story carries heavier emotional weight, creating an experience that feels more mature while still keeping the fun superhero energy.
We have to talk. This is something else. I need your help. Are you sure this isn't something you can handle yourself? I'm sure. Miles! This is crazy!
We call it a symbiote. And it chose you.
Get it off of him!
Ready for your annual physical? I'm the hero here, not you.
The hell's going on with Pete?
You're not yourself.
You want to join us?
He's here.
Lock down the whole building!
I know I can snap.
Can't fit me!
Bring her down. Do it my way. You like that, you bitch? Get the hammer. Kick her teeth in.
The degree is arbitrary, the definition's blurred. If I'm to choose between one evil and another, I'd rather not choose at all.
Just make it quick, Geralt.
What the?
Close your eyes.
Hit him!
The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt follows Geralt of Rivia, a professional monster hunter searching for his adopted daughter Ciri, who is being chased by the mysterious Wild Hunt. The story mixes political conflict, personal relationships, and dark fantasy themes, with choices that shape how characters react and even change the ending you get. Gameplay blends sword combat, magic signs, and preparation. Geralt carries two swords, steel for humans and silver for monsters, and uses abilities like Ignifire or Quen shields to control fights. Potions, bombs, and enemy research through the bestiary encourage planning before battles, making encounters feel more tactical rather than just fast action. Even smaller choices can change relationships or world events, creating an RPG experience that feels personal, grounded, and memorable without relying on one fixed outcome.